Happy holidays and happy Hanukkah. I'm Chef David Kogan doing Jewish fusion food down here in Austin, Texas. Today we're going to do a special fusion of a traditional Hannukah latke and Asian food. So we're going to get some Asian flavors going in. And we're going to start right off with peeling about 4 medium to large russet potatoes. So after you get your potatoes peeled, you're going to put them right into cold water just because if there's any time between when you're peeling and shredding, they'll turn brown. We have our medium grating disc in our food processor, and we're just going to trim these down so they fit in the tube. And we are going to grate them up. After we get that blended through, we're going to take our grated potatoes, put them into a colander to press out as much water as we possibly can. We're going to take a dry kitchen towel. We're going to press. And try and get as much of that water out as we possibly can. You can see how much moisture comes out of those potatoes. And you want to squeeze all that out or you will have exploding latkes. We're going to take a large mixing bowl and put our extra dry shredded potatoes in there. Give them one last dabble to get all that moisture out. Then we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of crushed up roasted unsalted cashews, about 2 tablespoons of powdered wasabi. This is real strong stuff, so you want to make sure you have that measured out. A 1/2 cup of flour. And we're going to add about half of it now and half of it after we mix it up just to make sure we get a good consistency. 2 eggs beaten lightly. 1/4 cup of green onions, which are going to add some nice flavor and crispness to the dish. A sprinkling of kosher salt. Just a couple twists of fresh ground black pepper. And then we're going to mix that all up to make our batter. And you want just enough egg to hold these together and just enough flour, but you don't want it to be cakey. Because what we're looking for is a nice, crisp, Asian flavored latke. So I'm going to add the rest of our flour. Continue to mix that around. And as soon as our batter is nice and mixed together, so we're going to pour a liberal amount of vegetable oil on our skillet. And you could use peanut oil or safflower oil, anything that's a high temperature oil that's not going to smoke too easily, because we're going to get this up. If you have a temperature setting, 350 degrees is a good level for it. We're going to take our scoop of latke mix, put it right on our oil, and give it a little flattening push down. We're going to wait a couple minutes, probably 4, maybe 5, for that to get real brown and crispy on the bottom side before we flip it over. Because the goal with any latke is a nice, crispy, crunchy, wonderful experience. And our cashews are really going to add to that. You're looking for a nice latke that's going to spread out and not be too big. Probably portion about 2, maybe 3 per person. You can do these lots of different ways. You can make mini ones that are half this size and maybe put a little smoked salmon and some dill sour cream or something on top, and you got yourself a great little appetizer. We're going to wait till these are real nice and golden brown on the bottom before we flip them over and crisp the other side. So that's one. Ooh, yeah, that's perfect. While these are brown and crisping up on the other side and on our fry later pad, we're going to mix up a little gingered sour cream sauce that we're going to dollop on at the end. Maybe take your finest Asian-inspired bowl, about a 1/2 cup of sour cream, or tofuti sour cream is a good vegan alternative if this is a meat or fleishik meal and you're keeping kosher. And we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of fresh minced ginger that we're just going to mix in. Maybe a little salt, a little pepper, and just finish that right up. If it's soaking up all your oil, you might have to refresh the fry-later's appetite for oily goodness. We're going to use a copious amount of oil here because Hanukkah is the festival of lights, those being oil lights that were burning in the menorah in the temple in Jerusalem for 8 days, which was the miracle of Hanukkah. So we fry-late everything on Hanukkah because it's tasty and wonderful, and it commemorates something as well. Alright, so when we're nice and golden brown on the other side, we're going to put it on our drying or cooling rack and let them cool down for a second and get a little bit of that oil to drain off. That's the spot. Crispy, wonderful. It's got a little nutty texture in there.